Trois test, test, test. Ok, c'est ça, 100%. Ok.
Dans un quart d'heure, dans une minute, je commence à marcher.
Test, test.
They have like I showed them first reference and give us an average rate per parcel. So like substances of information, so basis
So it hasn't been
no. Not meeting the that other one. That's what they thought to those guys. They told me we take from you well, direct lines. For example, 2-3 pallets going to France.
so it's 60.
Well,
Right.
So it gets there, and then they get sorted.
So for example,
So somebody drives it over there.
for example, we ship the parcels that we picked up this evening. Tomorrow 8 a.m. Most of them here. Already here. Already around lunch. Already there.
is it island?
I collected the flags. So the day after it's already
I know, yeah. Controversial. Yeah, I mean, I presented in London. Presented delivery, which is a good opportunity. Not just
Yeah, well, all I know is somebody got they said
welcome on stage Stefan Tomzak.
Hello everybody. So I hope that you had a great day today. I hope that you had a day with less stress than I had. I hope for you at least. I hope that you just make the connections you wanted, because that's my main objective, is for you just to do the collisions, that you just meet new people that you usually don't meet, that you just learn things that that are not so easily accessible. And so you had the workshops. We had also the one-to-one meetings with the partners. So I hope that you have also like great moments with our partners in one-to-one meetings. Don't hesitate, if you missed some, maybe just to reschedule them tomorrow. That's still like, it's only like halfway, so still also like plenty of time for those meetings. And the one thing I wanted to just stress about, so it's you see on this table like those awards. So these are the awards I was talking this morning about. So we have 5 awards that will be given tomorrow to the suppliers that you here in this room think deserve it. That's why I really count on you to go to the app. You can do with the app you download it, or through the web version of the app. You can still go to the supplier awards section, and then you have 5 questions, because there are 5 awards. We have the Game Changer Award, and we have the Rising Star Award, the Sustainability Award, the Cool Vendor Award, and the Customer Experience Award. So I mean, each of them is defined what it means. So just like, don't hesitate just to stop by all the partners, just to see what everything has got, and just to cast your votes. It's real. It's your votes. Nobody else will decide. So we take the votes up until tomorrow around lunchtime. Okay. So now we are about to start, I think, a very exciting moment of our Deliver One. We all read a lot about drones. There's a lot about the news, and also a lot on the media, etc. But I'm not sure that there are so many of us who actually saw drones, right? So that's exactly what also Deliver is about, is also to put you in contact with those hands-on experiences. So that's why we will now have 2 great companies, 2 great innovators on this topic of last mile disruption, right? The last mile disrupted by automation, by robotics, and that's why we'll have first Starship, right? So, showing its robot, and then Copter Express, and then we will have. If you have some questions about them, I will go back here. I will go back on stage, and if you have some questions, don't hesitate to put them on the Deliver One hashtag Twitter. Okay. So I will then comment on this. So please welcome on stage Keith Connell from Starship.
Chief Commercial Officer Keith Connell.
So we're going to be talking for the next 20 minutes about Starship, about a local delivery robot. And this is the local delivery robot, which is going to join me near the stage. It doesn't know how to climb stairs. We've been trying to train it to climb steps. It's not quite there yet. But it is a 5-motor, 6-wheel drive vehicle. It uses about 40 watts of power. And I'm going to be talking more about this disruption of the last mile. So when we talk about the last mile, we're talking about economics. And if you think about the cost of the last mile and how we get packages, there's some component of a vehicle, there's a component of labor, overhead, and of course there's the number of deliveries that are accessible to that vehicle during the day, during the time. Now, if we talk about the normal model of pre-planned delivery, it's the classic van, the classic driving around the neighborhood. And in the case of pre-planned, a lot of work has been done to ensure that it's as effective and efficient as possible. Turning right, for example, only handling one side of a boulevard before handling the other, etc. And I know all of you are familiar with many of the things and the efficiencies that have been done. But at the end of the day, this still gets to a cost of plus or minus $2 or $3 a delivery. That's going to be really difficult to get some kind of disruptive breakthrough that barrier. Now, when we talk then about on-demand delivery, we change the model. We change the model to different kinds of vehicles, on-demand call, the labor, and what we're doing is we're working to make sure that you, the consumer, get that package when you want it, but it's very difficult to work the back of that to make sure that you get it as inexpensively as possible. And that cost today is somewhere in the $5 to $10, 6 to 12 as the chart says, kind of range. So it's plus or minus 5 times or more the cost of that pre-planned delivery. So what do the consumers want? We had an excellent panel this morning with the e-commerce associations, and one of the things that was talked about was, I want a delivery slot. My daughter last week broke her phone. My particular mobile operator offers a next-day exchange. That involves handing the courier my broken phone, being handed a remanufactured phone of exactly the same specifications, and we do the swap. I'm happy, the mobile operator's happy, etc. So I went for a delivery slot. The delivery slot was 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. tomorrow. Okay? So I went through, made sure our package was ready to go, because they were very particular. If it wasn't ready to go, you weren't going to get the new phone. So then I got a text message about 2 o'clock saying, your delivery time frame is 17:59 to 18:59. Okay, we're down to an hour. By the way, if you noticed, it was 1800 was the last, and now it's 18:59 is potentially the last slot. I wanted that good. I was dead. Well, actually, I didn't. My daughter was on my case saying, I want my phone. So what do we want as consumers? We want that known delivery. We also, just because we're curious as humans, we want to know where it is. Not necessarily down to the what 3 words, exactly where it is, but we kind of want to know the phone is in your town and it's on the truck or whatever, it's headed to me. Unfortunately, on top of all this, we want it for free. And that makes it very difficult for us as delivery e-logistics to figure out how to build that into the margins and how to work with that scenario. We also want hassle-free returns. We'd like some other, and we're working on an idea with Starship where perhaps it brings 3 pairs of shoes, waits for you to try them on, and takes 2 back. So again, returns could be something that's built into our thinking in the future. So the last mile dilemma is we've worked very hard on these assets and on these costs, but we really can't bring it down very much further. And that's where we believe the future and the disruption is in this chart. On the left-hand side, what you see is the disruption caused by both the asset cost and the labor component. And on the right-hand side, we're talking more about the labor component and about efficiencies in terms of massive movement rather than simply onesies and small numbers. But we believe, as Starship, that the future is already here, and we're going to show you what we're doing with this. So this is a land-based robot delivery service. The Skype founders disrupted the music industry. Digital downloading started. They then disrupted telco through Skype, free calls, free video calls. And now they're working on the last mile, and we believe that we can change and disrupt the last mile economics using vehicles such as this. So it's a local delivery robot. It's small. It weighs, I'll talk in metric, it weighs a little over 10 kilos. It can haul 10 kilos. It hauls about 95% of the packages that any of the post receives today. Obviously, it's not going to haul Tiffany diamonds, and it's certainly not going to be able to take a flat screen TV. But it's designed to take 95% of those parcels. It drives on the sidewalks, and it drives on the sidewalks at pedestrian speeds. So it merges in with the pedestrian traffic of approximately 6 kilometers an hour. So the concept here is to optimize the space around a delivery hub of around 2-3 kilometers so that we're able to do a 30-minute delivery. That's the innovation that we're working on. So we have a local delivery hub. That hub can be a brownfield site. They can hold anywhere from 10 to 30 robots. Those hubs can be in the back of a large retailer, and they're in and around neighborhoods where deliveries of this type, food, groceries, packages, make sense for that particular area. They're not designed for high rises, they're not designed for rural. It's really more of a donut strategy around town center, getting to dwellings where you're willing to have a delivery zone near your front door or back door that can be accessible to the robot. The hubs are designed out of 20-foot by 8-foot normal shipping containers, so they're very, very cost effective. They're self-loading, so what happens, think of it as having a cat flap, which is where the robot will exit, and a loading zone, think about it like a little bit like the postal lockers, where a package can come and it can load 10 packages, 100 packages, whatever number, into the hub, and then they're held and waiting for time for that particular delivery. So how does it work? The way it works, and this was talked about when Graham from the UK Commerce was here, he talked about click and collect. So what happens is we know that you are in a Starship in a local robot delivery area. And so when you pull up the screen, and as you recall, the Deputy Prime Minister today talked about anywhere, anyhow. That's true on the start end of e-commerce. When you're sitting on your iPad or on your tablet on the beach deciding you need that new gizmo, that's great. The problem is with physical goods, you can't have digital delivery. You have to have physical delivery. So when you look at the screen for any particular retailer or any particular delivery, if you're within a robotic local delivery area, it will come up as one of those alternatives. You say, no, like the woman from Sweden, I don't want to collect at the petrol station this time. I actually want this to come to my, if you will, front door. No, I don't want click and collect. By the way, I love click and collect. It's a great, great idea. You can bundle other trips with it. So I want Starship delivery. Say yes. That product is delivered to the hub. It goes into the hub, and you have an alert on your smartphone. People say, well, how do they know it's you? Well, it's your smartphone that you put into the order when you ordered the goods. Put it into the smartphone. It's ready. You say, okay, unlike me for that whole day, I'm going to be at home at exactly 5:05. I want the 5:05 time slot. Push it. Starship alerts you that it's coming. You can actually see it on the app. It comes to you, and it comes to your local delivery spot, your front door, as you will, and it says, I'm here. You say, great. You open the door. You go up to it. You can either punch in a code, or it opens, and you take your product out. It close it, and off it goes, and you've now received your particular package. So we think by doing the maths, we can get this down to where it hits $1. Again, we have a number of robots, up to 100, being driven semi-autonomously. And when I say semi-autonomously, we're talking about the 99% kind of mark. We still have human control to make sure we can watch it. It has 9 cameras. We know where it is. We can make sure we understand around it what's happening. But the idea is to have a number of these at getting down to 1,000 euros or something instead of 20,000 or 15,000 euros for a van. Let's get it down into that 1/10 of that price, operate 100 of these, and get it down to that last mile barrier of we're looking for $1 being the goal that we have. So I was talking this morning, we announced the Swiss Post was one of our partners a couple of weeks ago. And I met with a woman from the EU, and she said to me at lunch, well, gosh, isn't this horrible about potentially displacing labor? I want you to look around the room. Do you know who the largest package delivery company is? It's yourself. It's you. We estimate from our research that you carry across your threshold 6 packages for every package that you get delivered to you. Now, some of those you want to go select. You might want to purposely look at the exact avocados that you're buying or pick out that exact bouquet of flowers for your spouse. But frankly, a bag of potatoes or a branded product in a branded size, you don't need to go get. So our thinking of disruption is not necessarily about the 25 billion packages that were delivered last year in the EU and the US, not about the 1 billion that were delivered on demand, but really about you changing your behavior for those 130 billion trips that have been taken to go get things that maybe give you some amount of more leisure time or more ability to do what you would rather do, rather than go to the store or go to the grocery or get a package or whatever. So we believe this market is huge, and it's not about hurting some competitor. It's about creating a new environment and a new way to get delivery to you. We have about 25 of these operating in the UK, the US, Switzerland, Germany, Estonia. We visited, I think, at least 20 other countries. We've done 12,000 kilometers. We've seen over 1 million people. And so far, touch wood or cardboard as the case may be, we haven't had an incident. And we believe that this is going to be something that can continue really well. Lots of cute pictures. I had a woman in San Francisco that really wanted me to put her 2 small dogs in it and take them for a ride. So we've had a lot of good rapport. We got to go to the Houses of Parliament in the UK, and one day we met 6 ministers and 30 MPs, talked about how this can change, also thinking about how to service the elderly. There's a lot of areas where this can go and change, and think about other ways of changing that last mile, if you will. We announced the Swiss Post. I already talked about them. This is a picture. This is a common occurrence. This happens to be in Estonia, but 80 or 85% of the people don't even look at it. They stay glued to their smartphone or doing whatever they're doing. They really don't pay attention to it. The others are kind of curious, or like the child likes to go up. But we had one child who couldn't figure out where the person was that was inside and was trying to find its eyes and tell me how this works. So we've had a lot of human interaction. We also, in Washington, D.C., delivered the first piece of legislative delivery about starships being used in the District of Columbia, and that was actually delivered to the District of Columbia in Starship. And we have commercial trials. Unfortunately, this doesn't show the bottom, which has our partners, but our partners so far that have been announced are Hermes, Swiss Post, gosh, I should know this by heart. Anyway, commercial trials are underway, and the really interesting news for you in the room is this was announced just 2 hours ago, and that is we now have a partnership with Mercedes vans. And I talked about the hubs. Think about that hub. Instead of being a stationary hub, think about a mobile hub that goes into a neighborhood, and out come starships, make the deliveries. It moves on another mile, starships return, other starships go out, and this was just announced in Stuttgart literally a couple of hours ago. The prototypes that we have are absolutely incredible on having this van become a mothership for Starship. So with that, I think I've given you a good overview of local delivery robots and how we expect to disrupt the last mile, and I'll turn it back to my colleagues.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for your attention to this keynote session, and I'd like to thank the organizers that make possible for us to come here and to share our passion about last mile delivery today. And my name is Andrew Sholohovich. I'm here with my co-founder, Oleg Konfilenek. He will later come and show our demo. And in 2009, I was working in the Russian office of one of the multinational FMCG companies, and I used to deal with delivery pretty much. And not only because I worked in the logistics department, but also because I was staying late in the office, trying to optimize the processes to make the lives of my colleagues easier, not to waste their time on some routine operations, just to push a couple of buttons and to have the result. And so I used to order food delivery to the office. And the office is situated in the center of Moscow, but not in the main street, but on the back street. And so I used to have all this, sometimes it was 5 calls from the delivery guys asking how to get to the office. They required details, and I thought, what the details? It was already 2010, and there was smartphones, GPS, navigators, and all this stuff, and it was really ridiculous for me. And I thought, why it couldn't be automated as well? Why drones can come for me and deliver something? And so we just returned from Samara. It's a small city in Russia. And this is Nika. She is 6 years old. And recently she received the first in her life delivery of pizza by drone. And well, she was really excited. You must see her on another pictures. She was like looking in the air, waiting that it will come and deliver her pizza. Then she was eating it. And I'm really sure that in the next several years she will meet such kinds of robots more and more often. And recent research shows that, sorry for that, shows that in the 40% of people, they already wait the first delivery delivered by the drone in the next 2 years, and another 31% think that it will be in the next 5 years or so. Let's change the slide because it's not so beautiful. Okay, and you probably have seen plenty of cases during the past years of drone deliveries, and that's because there are plenty of places where only drones can deliver something. For example, there is a well-known project, Matranet, which operates in Africa to deliver some crucial parcels, some medicine or something, other things. And really, in Africa, there are some places that you can deliver anything except drones. And also there was a well-known case that was made by DHL. They delivered across mountains. There was a case with a zipline. It's also deliver parcels in Africa. There was a really interesting case of integrating bus delivery and drone delivery from the workhorse. And it's like you can imagine whatever you want now. But all these initiatives, oh, by the way, it's also our case. We delivered SIM cards of one of the Russian operators in Moscow, so you could order the SIM card and drone will come and give you a SIM card, and like you see, this is a consumer drone. You can aim up to buy it and operate it, deliver something. So it's not so hard to deliver. Technically, it's not so hard. So you can program drone to go by GPS coordinates and deliver anything. But the main issue is some other issues, right? Why don't we see a fleet of drones delivering our goods today? Why? So in 2013, we announced our drone delivery service in Moscow, and we got plenty of positive feedback that day from all over the world. There were different potential partners, clients who wanted to apply this technology in their cities. Here you can see one of our first models of drone, because at that time there were no consumer drones spread. So many consumer drones, and we used to make our own model and manufacture it. And then in a year we designed this fantastic drone which delivers pizza. So you can see the special thermal box that protects pizza from getting cold in the air, and this special lowering system which protects the drone from the crowd and crowd from the drone. So if you will take this raw, it will automatically detach from the drone, so everybody's safe. And also there was huge wow effect. Plenty of mass media wrote around the world about this case, and we also got plenty of attention. You can see the drone, this thermal box. At that time, we used to think about this case very precisely, because the safety is the most important thing when you talk about drones. If you talk about drones with anyone, the first thing you will ask, and what if it crashes, right? Or what if? And until there is no statistics of flights, at least at that time there was no statistics, you can't be sure. And so at that time we spent plenty of weeks to think how it would be done in a better way, what would be the route, how to take the pizza from the air and leave it to the customer. So this drone was controlled by the operator in remote mode. And so at that time it was effective, but it wasn't economically proven that we can't scale this today. We even made the case of delivering to the window. So in Russia, we live in this multi-stairs houses, so it's sometimes it's not so easy to come from downstairs and on the street to take something. So it's much more comfortable to have it in your window. So we made another drone which is lowered from the big one and then flies in the window. Yeah. And you can see that we fly for 750 meters from the pizza area to the house where the client lived, and delivered him pizza in the window. So the main thing, regulations. The second question when we share, people ask me after they know that we deliver drones is, well, it's forbidden. Yeah, in some countries it's forbidden, in other countries it's not so forbidden. And moreover, that in the United States, just like several days ago, the new regulation took place. For example, if you wanted to fly your drone several months ago, you need to have plenty of documents approved by the Federal Mission Administration, and you need to wait plenty of time, and eventually you will have the reply that, okay, you can fly, but you need to be a pilot, you need to have a license of a pilot, you need to have insurance, you have that. And it was pretty complicated. So several days ago, the new regulations took place. So you can pass the exam easily for a couple of hours. There was something like 80 questions or something. And what's really important, that you don't need to be a professional pilot, or even you don't need to know how to use the joysticks. So they understand that everything now is automated, so you need just to know the rules of the main navigation, how to contact the control center, and etc. But it's very easy now to get this regulation. So why I'm talking about it? Because regulations are changing very fast, and if you will always think what is allowed today, you won't be the leaders, because tomorrow the regulations will change, and if you're not ready for that, someone other will take the lead. So as I said, we live in a huge world, so the different countries with different specifics, and so I think that there won't be any regulations that will be like global regulations. So because in some countries there are multi-stair houses, in other countries the houses is like one stairs and private area where you can land the drone. In other countries there are mountains. So we should think about every country more specifically. Okay. And so here you can see the regulations which were offered by Amazon. So, okay, let's take some zones and maybe the drones flying in some of them, and with some of restrictions, and in other zones you can fly with other restrictions. Another company also offered some kind of aerial highways, like highways for trucks, obviously, but for the drones, where drones are moving with certain trajectories. When we talk about regulations, there's two approaches. First is when, like in the cases I showed before, we take some kind of region, and it's controlled region, and you can fly only here and not nowhere else. But another approach is to make the technology smart enough with several critical technologies like sense and avoid, image recognition, computer vision, all that drones are smart enough not to crash into anybody, and to land precisely where you want to land, and etc. And luckily, there are plenty of companies in the world who have already announced special chips, and not the chips which make so. But I want to say that they are affordable, because technologically there was you were able to do it maybe 10 years ago, maybe 12, 20 years ago, but today you can buy for $500, you can buy the special chip, and it's already compatible with all this new artificial intelligence technologies, image recognition, so you can make really cheap drone that will sense and avoid and do plenty of stuff, which is crucial to make it safe. Talking about economic impact. So in 2013 and in 2014, when I showed you our case of pizza delivery, we used 5 people to make it safe and to make it operational. And so it wasn't like it wasn't good. So in 2016, we made a drone which would get operated just by one guy. And in 2017, this one guy will operate several drones. And this is where we can make worlds better ways. But I'm sure that drones won't come like a single tool or solution, because honestly, I don't think that it's reasonable when you spend your time to search for some kind of product. Then you spend time to compare different e-retailers. Then you maybe call someone. Even if you make a purchase, this order comes to another guy who makes his job, and then to another, and then to another. And if there is plenty of guys, and only one period you use drones, it's not like obvious. But in the new consumer paradigm, when more and more artificial intelligence will help us to make purchases, we have wearables which monitor our health and can order something autonomously. We have smart refrigerators which also can monitor what do we want to buy. And then we have this unmanned cargo ships from the Rolls-Royce, these robots that make debarkation, these autonomous trucks and autonomous robots at warehouses. The use of drones on last mile delivery seems more obvious. And we think that this future will happen in the next couple of years. And now I want to ask our CEO, Ivan Filonak, where is it, to make a demo. Let's
hello? Okay, I have controlled it manually, but actually it's flying by itself. But outside, when you can, when there is GPS signal, and it's our new model of our drones, it can carry up to 1 kilogram some packages. For example, it takes 1 liter of water. And we have already tested it. What we make is it always internet connection using 4G modem, and you can using our application or website just point the point A and point B, and it can go from A to B. And it can precision landing on the marker. It's just 1 square meter marker that you should put on the point, start point and end point, and it can automatically moves your packages from point A to point 2, up to 5 kilometers. The distance may be up to 5 kilometers. And the weight is 1 kilogram of some packages. Actually, we have 2 models. The second model can carry up to 2 kilograms weight and can climb up to 7 kilometers, and it goes back on the one battery. But the most interesting is that is the price of this drone. We sell it. We have already sold it. The price is $1,500 for each drone, and if you use it, you can make already deliver some goods for 5 kilometers. Then the price for delivery will be less than €1. We have already tested it. Yes, the price is less than €1 using this drone. So it's very easy to buy it. We can sell you and to make a delivery. Actually, now we, as we start in our business, we will help you. We can maintain any support to you in any region. We can do it free in this until the end of this year. So please contact us, and let's make a drone delivery together. It's possible, and it's very cheap. Thank you. So if you have any questions, I will answer it.
Should we open? Thank you. Let you see here. Let you maybe put
Very, very this cardboard.
Yeah, no, it's
Being a big guy.
it sounds like be gentle, be gentle.
I died.
If you're nice, you talk about the couple.
Nice to you.
Don't worry. Just like the robots, actually, it looks at Thank you for your two speeches. So it's incredible where technology brings us today. I mean, now what I do love in your two presentations, like each time is like this little wheel. I was wondering was it like a commercial for myself? But actually the thing that maybe the question we are wondering or asking ourselves today might be so not relevant for the future generation. For them it's just maybe everything like AR, VR, it's just maybe which is obvious to them. And but for us in the room, there are still like questions. Actually, I would like to ask you a question. We set up like the app this question, just a very simple question. You know that there are people think that drones are like on the future. Some people say that drones are the PR stunt. Do you believe in drones? Right. I think I set up the question right in the app. So if you, what do we have to go to? And it's on the basically. What?
Like in the workshop session.
Again?
Like in the workshop studio.
Okay, so it is what question?
You go like in the workshop studio and you can vote on the question.
So we
Such as, do you believe in drones? Yes,
I would like to see, how have you guys, how you say it, because we also have the question here. We'd like you to start answering so that we'd like to feel the temperature. Because now the question is not like,
It's going in the right direction.
who's Theocrat or So, I have. Sorry about that, guys. That's what happens direct. I would like to ask you a question. So, so you mentioned the economics, right? A lot to both of you. So, you also mentioned that there was carbon-free delivery. So, it's
Carbon light.
carbon light.
Be careful with carbon free because you're still producing electricity somewhere.
Yeah. So, but how do you, how do you see exactly the economics in it? Do you really think that it would bring like a B2C delivery or last mile delivery at all, like to low cost proposition?
Well, I think it's interesting that both of us use the same €1, $1 kind of benchmark. At the end of the day, what we're doing is we believe that a bank of operators somewhere can be operating this device nearly autonomously. And we have mapping technology that allows it to, we've gone multiple now runs autonomously. And the way it works is it goes on the pavement or on the sidewalk, point to point as it moves from the delivery zone to the consumer. And we believe that by having a large number of these, and by the way, the same operator that's operating them for, say, street crossings doesn't have to be a local language person. It does have a speaker, a microphone, it can speak to pedestrians. So it doesn't have to be one operator. It can be a handover. So if it's on the pavement comes across an obstacle, it doesn't know if that obstacle is navigable or not. It then asks for help. The operator looks at it and goes, no, that's a plastic bag, roll right over it. No, that's a tree limb. You're not going to get around that. We need to change the path. So we believe by having these banks of operators at a distance driving these mostly semi-autonomously, that we will get the cost of the asset and the cost of the labor down to that magical €1.
Okay, we have started delivery 2 years ago, and it was manually operated drones, and because of that, the cost of delivery was too high. It was approximately $10 per one delivery, and it was too high, so it actually more expensive than by make delivery. And after that, we started to development of full autonomous solution, and we made it, and after that the cost of delivery reduced dramatically up to $1. But in our case, the process of communication customer with drone, the delivery goods, is very different. Different than communication with people, because the mechanism is to left these packages somewhere where this customer knows where is it, and after that the customer should go and take it from this mark from somewhere near this house and something else. That's the difference, but the better thing is that you don't need any structure like roads and something else for flying, and it's also very good for economy.
What I found cool is that also we have the flying type, we have the driving type. So what about the let's say the perspective of each? I mean, is it? Do you see like two competing propositions or two complementary propositions for different use cases?
I think they're completely complementary, completely different use cases. I thought the chart of forests, mountains, and rivers, we have a spot our local delivery robot doesn't know how to swim. So at the end of the day, you forgot deserts. So those are use cases that don't make sense for something that's going at 6 kilometers an hour. But there are cases where this makes a lot of sense. As I said, to us, it's one alternative offered to the consumer to get their package. And if they want a petrol station, if they want click and collect, great. Those are alternatives that give our consumers happiness to get the way they want to get their delivery.
I agree, it's very different. So using flying drones, it's very fast. It's flying with speed of 50 kilometers per hour directly from shop to your house, and the whole delivery process, it took less than 10 minutes, probably 4, 5, 6, 7 minutes, not more. It's very fast. So it's a key difference. Another one difference is that you can deliver by flying to any place. You don't care about roads, rivers, bridges, mountains, forests, anything else. You just do delivery.
Only gadgets. But you care about gadgets.
Yeah, you only care about the distance and weather conditions as well.
Also, the weather conditions now, the new technology allows us to make it like a 365 days, like a year, like when it's raining. So, where does the technology stand now?
Unfortunately, the flying drones can't fly when with heavy rains and strong wind. I mean, the wind more than 8 meters per second. It's unacceptable, and the rain more than 2 millimeters per hour also is unacceptable, and this is a problem. But you can fly in any temperature.
Okay. So we just keep trying. tell us what you really need, what you really think. But, I guess also in that matter, the question that comes on and on is about security. So you mentioned it, both of you, and especially I guess with flying drones. What do we stand now? Is it how safe it is? What are still the risks to be covered? And what is the most risky cost in that operation?
So there's three risks that we have with Starship, or these three that we pay attention to. The one that's constantly asked of us, the normal one, is what about vandalism, or what about damage? I mentioned this in my talk. It does have 9 cameras, and it is able to take those images, and it knows where it is. It can see someone approaching it. We do have a speaker and microphone, so we can scream. It's rather unwieldy. There may be half a dozen of you in the audience that can pick it up and run with it, but it's pretty difficult. Loaded, it will weigh plus or minus 20 kilos. So we don't expect a lot of issues around vandalism. We do expect to come down exceedingly hard when that occurs, if it occurs. In our modeling, we used the example of people breaking into parked cars as our modeling number of incidents. Touch wood, we haven't had any incidents at this point. In terms of theft, we're not delivering high-value goods. You don't know if it's empty or full. You don't know what's in it. It is locked, per se. You can take a battle axe and break into it if you wanted to. So we don't expect a lot of issues on that, but we know that there will be an occurrence at some point. Road crossings is the other dangerous point. Again, we select exactly what the routes are and ensure that we're doing not blind corners, that we're waiting at crosswalks. We don't have to be like a pedestrian trying to get from point A to point B the absolute straightest way. So if there's a better way to get there that's easier relative to crosswalks, we'll do that. We will be controlling the Starship on crosswalks, and there's a point of no return. It is automated, so once it gets to a certain point, if it lost all communication, it would cross over. Before that point of no return, it would simply back up and wait. And it'll sit there and wait for a little bit of time, a little bit of size, or until we have something we need to accomplish.
Okay. From one side, it's safety to deliver some expensive things like money or something else, because when it's flying, nobody can touch it or can access to it, because it can operate fully autonomously without any communication with server and something else, and no one can get a control on it. Of course, someone can shoot them, but it's the risk is very low. But the other side, the process of the getting things by customer is very complicated, because this machine is not designed for communication with customers. It's not good for people to touch them, because it's kind of dangerous, propellers and something else. The only good way is to put a parcel somewhere and go away. After that, customers go and take it. And this is a new risk that the parcel lying somewhere without anything, anyone can go and touch it probably. It depends on the place.
Okay. So an update on the votes. 61% yes, 39% no, based on about 80 voters. So if people still want to keep on voting, they don't hesitate. So it's still like fairly balanced, I would say. It's like unanimous. Interesting question is, why do you think that 40% of the room thinks that it's not, they don't believe in drone?
I worry about the question. If you're saying drones are both land-based and air-based, I see issues around the land base, I see issues around the air base, and I think you might get different counts. I think part of it is the belief that there is a strong belief set for autonomous cars and autonomous driving cars, autonomous driven large lorries and vans. There are people that just say that will never happen, it's way too long, it's way far in the future. So I think part of that is, can we actually autonomously drive a vehicle? And I believe the answer is yes. There are others that don't believe that will be there for 5, 10 years, 20 years. So I think that's part of it. In terms of drones, there is a slight issue there. I alluded to my diet. It's called enforcement gravity. And because of gravity, you talked about a 1 kilo load and a 2 kilo load. We're talking about a 10 kilo load. And I think there are very different use cases for whether you're delivering 1 kilo or whether you're delivering 10 kilos. So I think part of that also could be in this answer about what is the package, what's being delivered. Will my food, my pizza, really be hot when I get it? We have a lot of work to do. This is the beginning.
Yeah, that's like a human to machine interface. Yes.
Of course, the drones as we see now, it's not very friendly, but this one is very friendly, of course. But people may not believe in drones, but they should believe in economy. And as we see, the trains that delivered by drones will be 5 times cheaper than delivered by man. And anyone, not anyone, but most of the people will order the drone if it will be cheaper. It's very simple. They cannot believe in drone, but they will order it because of money.
I want to bring up an example. Many of you have been on subways or tubes in the world that do not have a driver. And some of those have been operating for 20 years. Yet you will go to cities that do not have driverless trains or driverless subways that say, oh, no, that's somehow very dangerous or shouldn't happen or it's the future or whatever. So, there are going to be early adopters and there are going to be non-adopters.
So based on the 90 voters, so it's still like, actually the number is increasing, it's amazing. So the room is shifting to the non-believers. So maybe it was about the quality of the speaking or what? No, you did great. You did great speakers now, obviously not. And what about now? Maybe you mentioned that about the mothership, right? Like this sort of term. So it's like putting the drone into like a multimodal scheme, right? So you have the car, maybe one day autonomous car, at least that's not the case now, but maybe that's in the past. Autonomous car, shooting autonomous drones on the road, right? And then the robots. I know that you shouldn't say it, call it a drone or a robot. And concerning the drones, what we see now, so you about tested those like window delivery, where you have people like put something in front of their window, right, so that the pizza or whatever was just delivered right outside the window. So my question is maybe the future of those UAVs like multimodal, just combined with something else? I say that because in the drones lately, what was raised in the news was that we had like the drones delivering packages in parcel boxes, right? So also like parcel boxes, recognizing that there were a drone going by, opening up automatically, just the drone just leaves the package and then the parcel box just shuts down. So this is like compared with the multimodal way. So what is your thought about it?
So our original thought on this was to have a hub, like I showed you in the picture, of housing between 10 and 30 robots that we then deliver to this plus or minus 10 square kilometer area. Our thought then evolved to where, what about the local pizza parlor, the local pharmacy, having one of their own robots that's still part of this larger fleet, and they put the particular second robot if they get a lot of deliveries where that robot can then join the hub group if the hub group needed another robot. So our thinking was around the platform where we could have a hub and some local onesies and twosies that can be human loaded. The hub is automated loaded, human loaded to get the delivery to you. That changed and evolved today because of our relationship now with Mercedes-Benz, where they're actually building, and we already have prototypes, where that mothership is a third way now of thinking about local delivery robots, having a mothership driving into a neighborhood. That van has got maybe 50 or 100 deliveries, and those robots will do multiple runs from that van. So the thinking, the evolution is at the very start of how do we think about those multi-modes, from click and collect to the parcel locker, to the petrol station, to the post office that no longer exists, to the delivery right to your doorstep, to taking my little pad out there and saying, this is where my delivery zone is. Drop my important article that I need right now there. So I think we're talking about a whole continuum of possibilities.
Yes, I also agree. Of course, the original buildings, multi-flat buildings, don't design for robot delivery. Designed for human delivery, for human come to the front door and take the package from hand by hand. But if we can imagine the future, the most convenient way to get something is to get it in your flat, exactly on the shelf or somewhere, or in the fridge or something else. So I believe that we will see in the near future the new technologies that will adapt to the robots that can make something to get in your house, in your flat, in the place that you want to find it when you need it, not to get something. And because of the communication channel between customers and machines, it's very difficult. Now we can find a lot of projects with some boxes. The job can deliver something to some box, and people take it from this box. And it's okay, it's very good, but in future you will get the packages in your house directly.
Maybe some of in our morning panel discussion with the e-commerce associations about the current difficulties, the costs, putting still pain on that part of the e-commerce. So maybe solution, or at least part of the solution, comes from construction that you're bringing. Even if I discovered, now we're talking about disruption innovation, but I'm sure you'll be surprised to know when the first drone has been designed and invented. I mean, nobody will believe me, but the drone is 100 years old. The first drone flew back in 1916. So when we're talking about disruption, I mean, what's that? Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you, Ash. I really enjoyed it. I hope you did also. Now the rest of the program. So now we have buses waiting outside. So we finished with just the survey. So 60% of you believe in drones, based on 100 people voting. 40% don't, and that's very strange. And so now for the time being now, we have our buses waiting for us outside. Bring us to the correct location where we'll have champagne, cocktails, and dinner, and everything. Just feel like continue to relax a little bit after this actually very intense day you had today. And so then you with this session you've learned how to vote. Now the next vote you have to do is to vote for the best suppliers. You know what I mentioned before, so we count on you because the decision will be yours.
Right? So thank you everybody, and let's meet outside and have a nice moment.